Well, I'm sure everyone's about getting as sick as seeing plowing videos as I'm getting of making them. But we just keep getting snow. I mean, granted, it's not much, but it's enough for a guy has to plow. So we're gonna go out here and we're just gonna kind of work on scraping down the horse arena tonight. And the big reason behind that, normally I wouldn't really care if it was only an inch of snow, but it's supposed to be like 40 degrees tomorrow and sunny. So the hopes and the dreams are that when it does that, it melts it down to the sand so that my wife can use it sooner. So we're gonna get over there and do some plowing and get her cleaned up. Well, like a fool, I decided to leave the landscape rake right in front of the pile where I plow the snow. So I didn't really feel like firing the tractor up for 2 minutes just to come and move this thing. So I figured, you know what? I'm gonna be lazy and have to struggle to get this thing out of the way because it's not that heavy. And then every time I lift it up, I'm like, oh yeah, the thing is a few 100 pounds yet. So kind of struggle to get it moved, but we got it out of the way. If I'm being honest, I keep putting it there because I think, oh, we're going to be done with the snow for the year, and then we get another inch, or another 2 inches, or another 3 inches. So it's on me. So I'm pushing around here just like normal. You can see over on this side, I haven't really cleaned that up all winter. A couple areas I did there, but the underneath is pretty consolidated. It's kind of hard to tell from that camera angle, but that underneath there's probably, I don't know, anywhere from 3 to 4 inches of snow that's condensed down, and it's that thick stuff from when we got the warmer weather. So that's kind of like a good indicator as to why you want to get everything cleaned up before it starts getting warm out. Because once it starts getting warm out in the spring up here, and I'm sure it's like this a lot of other places, you know, it's getting above freezing during the day. It's getting up to 40 degrees sometimes, if not 50, and you get lots of melt. But then it's still getting below freezing at night. So all that snow, it likes to melt and then condense down on itself, and it gets really heavy and really thick, and it's almost like a really thick crust, and it's almost impossible to get that stuff cleaned up if you don't take care of it before it starts getting above freezing. And I kind of slacked in a couple of areas because it's kind of a double-edged sword. So if you leave that snow there and you don't plow it during the winter, what happens is the ground underneath, the snow acts as an insulator, and the ground underneath doesn't get as frozen. So if you wait until the last minute to plow it up, the ground will actually thaw quicker. But if you don't wait till the last minute and you plow it like we're doing with the driveways and the main working areas all the time, it stays a lot smoother and you don't get that huge buildup of ice underneath. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, and I mean, you just kind of fight that no matter what you're doing in Minnesota. And I'm sure East Coast, West Coast, if you're northern, I'm sure you guys are all in a similar boat. I'd be curious to know though, like when it starts melting out there, if there's anybody from the West Coast or the East Coast who ends up watching this, leave a comment below. I'm really curious to know, like, once it starts melting, how long it takes for you guys to actually lose all your snow. Because it's up here, it kind of starts, like we had earlier February thaw, and, you know, call it Fool Spring, and we lost pretty much all of our snow, and then a week or two ago we got dumped on, and we got probably over a foot by the time it was all said and done. And then we just keep getting these little hitters where you'll get an inch at night, or inch and a half, or 2 inches at most. And it's just enough snow where we have to clean up again. We can't kind of let it stay. I mean, like here you'll see I'm dragging all this out from in front of the barn stalls to get it pushed up. That's a whole other story there. I actually had to redesign and move that fence line there because when we first built that barn a couple of years ago, I didn't take into account snow removal in there, so you couldn't get a four-wheeler or an ATV or UTV or the tractor in there to scrape that snow down, so it all had to get shoveled. Well, the problem is we don't live out here full time, so we just have to, you know, we spend a couple of hours a night typically just doing horse chores and cleaning everything up. Well, during the day, that roof would heat up so much, even in the middle of the winter, that snow would slide off of it and drop in front, and then it would freeze there, so it turned into a big pile of ice. So I actually ended up moving that pasture line out so that I could get the tractor in there and drag that with the box blade to kind of alleviate that. And even still, it didn't work the greatest, so eventually I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to kind of build like a lean-to off that so that the snow doesn't fall in front of the doors. It falls out more towards the pasture. This pile's going to take forever to thaw over here. That one's going to be there until the end of May, I bet. But so we just kind of go along, and you'll notice a little bit earlier I was talking, but I switched from the 1-ton to the tractor. And the reason being is over by the horses there, I've said it many times, there's all those little goat paths and trails that you can't get into with the 1-ton, so switched over to the tractor to do it, and then I just kind of came over here and I'm helping my parents clean up on their side. It's just a lot easier to clean up in front of the different buildings and the tighter quarters with the tractor going forward and backwards. You can see a lot better. A 1-ton moves snow way quicker and in a way higher volume, but the cleanup in the tight spaces, it's just way easier with the tractor.